Good morning. So this morning we are going to be shooting some trails up in the area by the P Mountain, P for Prescott, and that's the Chelly reroute. And so this trail is going to be the new section of the Prescott Circle Trail. So I'm going to be heading out there and doing some videos of it, and it's pretty cool. So I want to keep you guys updated with what's going on with the Circle Trail, the changes that are being made. And so it's gonna brighten early, 6:40, which is not really all that early, I guess. And we're gonna go out there. The temperatures are still pretty good, and the sun, the light, I think is gonna be really good as well. So see you in a bit. So if you're back in this area, or if you ride, or if you run, you get to this area that's kind of in a riverbed, and so when it's wet out here, it means that you're right in a river. And so the city of Prescott and National Forest decided to create a reroute for this section and help us get something that's a little bit more in line with what the Circle Trail actually looks like. So I want to show you a few things here, which is always very interesting, to me at least. So we get here into the difference between the City of Prescott trails and the National Forest trails. And so if you look right here, there's a fence line, and you can see the fence line going all the way up here, okay? Now you can tell that on one side it's clear, on the other side it's not. So recently the Forest Service came up here and did some brushing, so they're removing some of the dead stuff, and you can see the big piles right here, and clearing it a little bit. So the state line right here, the line between the Forest Service and the City of Prescott, is very clear. And actually, believe it or not, this is where we're going, so I'm gonna have to go off trail right here. And right up here are the flags that have been put down about the new trail, the Chelly reroute. So the last time I came up here, I came with Chris from the City of Prescott, and I was following him and flagging the trail. And so I was wearing a little bit more stuff on my legs, which is pretty important around here because you're off the trail completely. So I made it. It's hard to believe that this, what I'm standing in the middle of right now, will be a trail in the future. Just for you guys to take a look at this. This right here is going to be the trail, okay? Back on Chelly, and I'm gonna just run back and go home and actually get breakfast because I haven't had breakfast just yet. It is 8:50, almost 9 o'clock. I hope that some of you got to watch the Western State 100. If you didn't, you missed an amazing race. Not only because there was a lot of changes in the front, it was a crazy attempt to get the course record with Jim Walmsley. A lot of changes also with the women field. Just a crazy race all around. Started at 5 in the morning, and then the first guys get in late at night, I think, for 15 hours, so about 8-9 p.m. were the first guys coming in. just an amazing race. Walmsley going out like a bat out of hell, which is what he wanted to do anyway, and beat the course record. Gets up there, and the heat was, I think, a little bit more than expected for most people, and eventually ended up having some issues with not being able to take some nutrition, which I'm sure some of you have done as well in the past. Start a race a little too fast and then eventually get killed halfway through. He got to the point where he hadn't taken any nutrition for about 4 hours. He bonked and just blew up, which happens. So there's been a lot of controversy about what Jim did, and some people are saying, well, you know, he should probably concentrate on finishing 100 first. This was only his second 100 miler, and then he can go for the course record. So I think this is a mentality thing. People that are not running at the elite level, I don't think, have an understanding of what these guys want to do. His goal is not to finish. His goal is not to win the race. He doesn't care about that, I think. And I think his goal is really to break the course record. That's what he said to do. So anything it's going to take to break the course record is going to be going at a fast pace. And so I've seen people online making comments, and I think it's very easy to look at it from where we are. Obviously, we're sitting in our couch, and maybe you've done 100, maybe you haven't, but I think it's really up to him about how he wants to do it and how he wants to proceed with this race. I don't think he has to win the 100 first. I don't think he has to just go and finish 100 before he can claim to go for the course record. The guy is fast, amazingly fast. He's got a natural talent. He's been training really, really hard with this, and I really think that he can do it. It just needs to go and be his day. So this wasn't his day. Congratulations to the gentleman that won from South Africa, Sandus, and he was at one point about an hour behind the lead, and he manages to win the race. The moral of the story is, run your own race, don't worry about anybody else. This guy, he knew what he wanted to do, Sandus. He had his pace, he knew what he was capable of, and he went at his own pace, and he ended up winning the race. So tell me what you think. Tell me in the comments. Tell me, do you think Walmsley has a chance of getting to that point where he can get the course record, or do you think that it's completely out of mind and he should be really just concentrating on finishing his first 100? And personally, I think he's got the course record pretty easily. So that's it.
Breaking news and brand new video just in as neighbors in Prescott Valley pack up and leave. The Goodwin Fire rages toward everything they've worked so hard for.
Just faces, hundreds of them, listening for hope inside, worried about the monster growing on the outside.
It's big, very big. Biggest I've seen around here, and I've been here 24 years.
Mandatory evacuations just expanded in the past 20 minutes to Chaparral Hills, Poland Junction, Breezy Pines, Pine Flats, and now all of Mayer also forced out.
And Iris, this is going to be our big story this morning. Of course, the weather factor going to be huge in getting the Goodwin Fire contained, and the winds. Iris will be tracking throughout the morning, and it's going to depend on the winds if the Mother Nature is going to assist the firefighters in gaining the upper hand on this 20,000-acre fire.
So right now we're heading out to an area called Bean Peaks, which is close to Goldwater Lake. And the reason I'm going there is because there's a fire going on right now in Prescott called the Goodwin Fire, which started this Saturday, I think, or Friday, and it's getting pretty nasty. And so I kind of want to see if I can see anything from Bean Peaks up there. This might be a little too far, and I think there might be some mountains in the way, but right now it's moving quick, and they have a lot of crews working at it, and they had to evacuate to some of the small towns around, which is not good. So hopefully they can get it under control. It's about a 5-mile uphill. It's a solid uphill to get up there, so it's not really on a known trail. It's kind of an off trail. It's an old mine up there, I think. So we'll get up there and see what's going on, and we'll keep you posted. So there we are at the Copper Basin trailhead. I'm going to keep it light today. I'm just going to take the GoPro with me. So that's where we're going. Two peaks right here. We're going to go to the one on the left, actually. So, done about 1.25 miles so far. coming up this trail and get almost 400 feet of climbing already. So pretty steady climb coming up here, and we're going to keep on doing that and going to the top. And so see you there. Made it up to one of the viewpoint. Behind me is one of the bean peaks, and here's what the fire looks like. Now, this may not look like a whole lot, but you got to think about this range right here is one of the tallest range in the county, and so this whole area here has a major drop on the other side. That's where the fire is located, and so there's a lot of smoke behind this mountain. Right in front of us, it's kind of hard to see, but is the Spruce Mountain lookout. So Spruce Mountain is 7,700, I think, all the way up there, and so they have a good view of the fire right now, and that's what those lookouts are for. And the same thing that we saw this weekend in Union. And so we're going to keep on climbing a little bit, but I want you guys to see this, and I also wanted you to see this little thing right here, because this, like I said, used to be a mine. I'm not sure if it was gold or whatever, but here's a hard hat area. Now, I can probably squeeze in there, but I have zero interest doing that. So, pretty cool. Lots of mines around here, and that's about it. So, it says enter at your own risk. And we're not going to do that. Alright, let's keep on climbing. Almost this whole section is most definitely not runnable. Very steep gradient and very loose rocks. This very short bit kills you. So look at that. Here's the leftover of that mine shaft. I mean, way up there. Way up there. Crazy. Alright, keep on trucking. Let's get back down. We've got another 2.5 miles to go. That's downhill, which is fun. I like that. Very technical, the first section here, and then we'll get back to the car and go chill. And that's it. See ya. Today is Wednesday, and like I said yesterday, we were chasing a fire, trying to figure out what's going on with the Goodwin fire. Turns out the fire grew from about 4,000 acres this weekend to over 21,000 acres today. So it's growing fast. It's not contained, only 1% contained. And several different areas around Prescott have been evacuated. No, I shouldn't say Prescott. The towns south of Prescott, Dewey, and other places. And so it's not good, but I want to climb up this mountain right behind me right here, which is the this one right here, which is called P Mountain, and go see what's going on the other side. Maybe we can get a good glimpse of the fire. I'm sitting right here at the very top of P Mountain, Badger Mountain, and as you can see behind me, you can see all the smoke right here from the fire, from the Goodwin fire. So there's another range of mountain between us and Prescott, so this fire is no imminent danger for us really at this stage, but this may change over time. We never know. And so what's very interesting is up here, I'm going to show you right here in a second, is these are on the ground, the signs that are going to go up for the 19 firefighters. So these are the letters 1-9, you can't tell, but right underneath the big P, the big letter P, there's going to be the 1-9, which happens every year. It's been happening for the last 4 years now, where we lost 19 firefighters, 19 hotshots here in Yarnell, which is really close to Prescott, as they were fighting for extinguishing a fire that happened in Yarnell and that was threatening the city of Yarnell. And so we're here 4 years later, almost the exact same time, and we have this big fire again in the area. So here's the sign again that's going to go up very, very soon, I'm sure. Alright, another great run for today. This was 5 miles exactly, and this is continuing with the training and building up some base mileage, and hopefully we'll do that again tomorrow. I'm not sure where we'll go, but depending on how this fire turns out, we'll try to keep checking on it. Again, 21,000 acres today. We'll see how far it goes tomorrow. The wind is not really good right now, so I hope that this gets better. Alright.